Yananai umanai Yananai Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. Let's light up the world, oh brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing Hine Matov. Yananai, 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 Hine Matov. Yananai, Yananai, Umanai. Yananai, Yananai, Shabbat Achim. Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everybody to our sanctuary. It's so great to have this incredible blend of people joining us on Zoom and TOS Live, Brookline Interactive, some of our tots who are sticking around for some more Shabbat, 3 Shabbats together, some of our teens. It's so good to be together this Shabbat after Veterans Day. And I just want to say a word about Veterans Day, which honors all Americans who served in the U.S. military and is a day to celebrate America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and a willingness to serve and to sacrifice for the common good. I didn't know this until I started to do some research, but Veterans Day was actually originally Armistice Day, which began in 1918 in the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month, because that is when the armistice was signed in France, halting the Great War, or the war to end all wars, which we know as World War I today. And in this week's Torah portion, we read about an armistice as well. And it is a peace deal between 2 competing parties, Lavan and his son-in-law Jacob. And for 20 years, Jacob has served Lavan, 14 years for both of Lavan's daughters, Rachel and Leah, and 6 years tending his flocks. But feeling cheated, Jacob flees with his wives, children, and flocks, and Lavan pursues in anger, threatening him, saying, "I have it in my power to do you harm." But rather than fighting, they reach a peace deal, setting up a stone pillar, breaking bread together, and drawing boundaries. Lavan said to Jacob, "Here is this mound, and here the pillar which I have set up between you and me. This mound shall be witness, and this pillar shall be witness, that I am not to cross you to past this mound, and that you are not to cross to me past this mound and this pillar with hostile intent. May the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, their ancestral deities judge between us." And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. And Jacob offered up a sacrifice and invited his kinsmen to partake in the meal. As we honor those veterans who have served this country, and we think about our Torah portion this week, Vayetze, we think about the peace deals that are made between people who are in competition and who are striving against each other. And we bring that willingness to make peace to this Shabbat, to put aside those things that are causing tension within us, between us, and we allow there to be shalom bayit, peace in our homes, and shalom, peace in our communities. And we help to bring in that spirit of Shabbat by lighting the candles. And I invite you to join me on page 2 as Josh leads us in the candle lighting.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Lechadlik ner, Lechadlik ner, Shel Shabbat.
This week's Torah portion begins with Jacob having a dream of angels ascending and descending a ladder up to heaven. And we imagine those angels coming and going as we welcome in Shabbat and the Shabbat angels with Shalom Aleichem on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Leshalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Barchuni Leshalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seidchem Leshalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On Friday night, we used Psalms to warm up our spirits, to warm up our hearts as we prepare for Shabbat. And we join together at the bottom of page 13 as we sing together 4 lines up from the bottom, these lines from Psalm 96.
Ya'alu satai l'chol asher bo ya'alu satai. L'chol asher bo ya'alu satai. Ziranu kol atzei ya'ar. Ziranu kol atzei ya'ar. Ziranu kol atzei ya'ar. Ziranu kol atzei ya'ar. Ya'alu satai v'chol asher bo ya'alu satai. Ya'alu satai v'chol asher bo ya'alu satai.
We turn to Lechado D on page 20. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And as we turn to the 9th stanza, we get to rise and greet the Shabbat bride. And one of my favorite things about being together in this sanctuary is we get to see out onto Beacon Street and to get to welcome in that spirit with our doors open this evening. We welcome in the Shabbat Queen together, page 20.
Yalalai l'chadoti, yalalai likrat kala, yalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, yalalai l'chadoti, yalalai likrat kala, yalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad Yishmi'anu el hamilchad Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'leitilah. Ya'ilalai, yilalalai l'chad odi'u, yilalalai l'krat kala, yilalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabilha. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, mevosh miketem nel sucha. Sof maaseh b'machshava tehilah. Ya'ilalai, yilalalai l'chad odi'u, yilalalai l'krat kala, yilalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabilha. Verse 5, Yitoreri, ki ba'orech kuni uri, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayich nikah. Ya'ilalai, yilalalai l'chad odi'u, yilalalai l'krat kala, yilalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabilha. Please rise, Mahariv Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam b'simcha b'zola, toch emunei al segula, borich Allah, borich Allah. Ya'ilalai, yilalalai l'chad odi'u, yilalalai l'krat kala, yilalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabilha. Yilalalai l'chad odi'u, yilalalai l'krat kala, yilalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabilha.
We're welcome to be seated. We've been picking up the energy, so I hope everybody's feeling awake. We're going to take it down just a notch as we sing together a psalm for Shabbat, Psalm 92 on page 22. We're in the middle of the page. You can join Ma Gadlu Ma'asecha Ya Me'od Amku Machshavotecha.
Start off with hallelujah. 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 Maaseh chayah, me'or hamku machshavotecha. Please sing any part you like. Magadlu, Maaseh chayah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
We turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu. And it's wonderful that we can be together both in person and virtually to feel those connections between those who are joining us virtually and those who are physically here in the space, to know that together we form one sacred community, one Kehillah Kadosha. And so we rise together for the Baruch Hu on page 28, in this moment of reconnection, this moment of acknowledging that we are continuing on together with the Mahariv Aravim service. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. We're welcome to be seated. This next song is not in your prayer book, but you'll be able to pick it up easily if it's the first time you've encountered it. It's inspired by the Mahariv Aravim prayer. As we bring on this evening, we acknowledge the creator of day and night, the creator who brings on the evening.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into dark, roll into light. Roll into light, night becomes day. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Day turns to night. Morei yom laila, roel or mipnei choshech, roel or mipnei choshech, vechoshech mipnei or roll into dark. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Morei, morei yom v'layla, roel or mipnei choshech. V'choshech mipnei or v'choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, v'choshech mipnei or.
Page 32.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chokim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadta, Otanu limadta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbenu, ufkumenu nasiach bechukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו
We join together on page 34 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We turn together to page 36 for V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chstavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. We join together on page 40 for the song of our redemption, which our ancestors sang as they crossed the Sea of Reeds from slavery to freedom. Micha Mocha is on page 40.
Yai-la-lai, yai-lai-lai, lai-lai, 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 yai-lai-lai, lai-lai, 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 yai-lai-lai, lai-lai, 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 yai-lai-lai, lai-lai, lai-lai. Micha Mocha, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha de'idar b'churem, Norat te'ilot u'sefele, Norat te'ilot u'sefele. Malechutecha ra'u v'antecha, u'ke'aliyam livnei Moshe Miriam, Ze'lianu ve'amru, Ze'lianu ve'ameru, Adonai lo le'olam va'ed, Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. Yai-lai, yai-lai, lai, 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 yai-lai, lai, 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 yai-lai, lai, 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 yai-lai, lai, yai-lai, lai, lai.
We turn to page 42. We ask God to spread a shelter of peace over us, over all of Israel, over Jerusalem, and over the whole world.
Ufros Hallel. Berakat Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Hamo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
I'd like to sing one prayer this evening that we don't normally sing.
Yes. Hit me, Rabbi.
Vishamru, on page 44.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites and comes straight out of the Torah. And we're reminded that just as the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. And so we sing together the song, page 44.
Might be a little high for my friends. Everyone join me, say Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor et amrit olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדור את אמרית עולם.
We turn now to the Amidah on page 46, the central prayer in Judaism known as Ha-Tefillah. We'll recite the first three blessings together, and then we'll have a chance to continue our own with our own private prayers or the words in the book. I invite you to take some time as we're saying the opening Kavanah, Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. To use that as a sort of meditation, to enter into a state of focus and of prayer so that you can join us as we recite the opening blessings together and then continue on our own silently. We turn to page 46 and we rise for the Amidah.
An Ananana svatai tiftach Ananana ufi yagid teilatecha Ananana Adonai Ananana svatai tiftach Ananana ufi yagid
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot U'Mevi Gula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Geburot Umidom Elach Melech Mimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua B'ne'eman Atah L'chayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelu Chasela Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Atah Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom Ki Atah Melech Adon Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim.
We're welcome to be seated. We take a moment as we transition from our prayer for peace to a prayer for healing. And we welcome in the names of anybody in this room who you're saying a prayer for healing for. If you're on Zoom and you'd like to share their names in the chat to be read out loud, please do. And if you're with us today and want to raise your hand or stand up and share the names of any friends or family you're saying a prayer for healing for, please let us know who is on your heart today. As a community, we're saying a prayer of healing for Cassandra Warshowski, Chaya Blaima, Bat Chaim Chia, Vasilia Ruchel, Jeffrey Colt, Gerald, David Jacobs, Roman Rachamim, Ben Zenaida Zilpa, Lois Rubin, Matthew Smith, David Page, Adriana Lago Collenberg, Fran Goldberg, Karen Gould, Risa Bat Baruch, Joseph Siegel, Yosef Ben Herschel Veruth, Glenna Bub. We add to the names of Steve Fromm, Amos Lassen, Liesel, Marcia, Allen, Jerry, Susan Bobeck, and Lee Glenn. And we join together with all those mentioned and all those on our hearts on page 253 for Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
We wish them a refuah shlema, a complete and speedy recovery. Rabbi Berkman shares her regrets that she can't be with us this evening, but she suggested that I read a poem by the Rabbi Yael Levi, inspired by this week's Torah portion. And Rabbi Berkman has been using these poems by Rabbi Levi in her Thursday morning class, Torah for the Heart and Mind. And so if you find this moving, please join her at 9 a.m. on Thursdays. Next week, they are not meeting, but every other Thursday. Actually, and then the following Thursday is Thanksgiving. Starting in December, they will be meeting again every Thursday morning. And I've heard wonderful things about the class, and hopefully you can join. Just to set the scene a little bit before I read this poem, in last week's Torah portion, Jacob has completed the process of usurping his older brother Esau. He has negotiated from him the birthright for a cup of soup. He has stolen from him the blessing by dressing up in goat skin and with his mother's help, pretending to be Esau in order that their father Isaac will give Jacob the blessing. And he succeeds in convincing his father, and he receives this blessing. And as you might imagine, it angers Esau quite a bit, to the point that Esau is willing to kill him. And so Jacob's only option at this point is to flee. And he flees his family. As far as we know, he's never left home. What we're told about him is that he was a man who dwelt amongst tents, and as our bat mitzvah said last week, he was kind of a mama's boy. Like, he stayed close to his mom and hung out inside the tents rather than going out and hunting with his brother Esau and some of the other guys. And so this is, I imagine, quite a trip for him to leave home, to leave what he has known, and to not necessarily know what he is about to encounter on this trip. And so I share this poem named after our Torah portion by Rabbi Yael Levi called Vayetze, Going Out. Jacob left all he had known, all he had been, and traveled into the dark. Laying his head upon a rock, he sought sleep. But Jacob was startled awake. He was awakened by the magnitude of the divine presence, a vision of a ladder reaching from the earth to the heavens, angels ascending and descending, and the infinite, the mystery of all being, standing beside him. Break through the infinite call to Jacob. Break through your fears and assumptions. Break through who you have been and who you thought you should be. Break through the limits of your imagination and awaken to the mysteries of life. Awaken to the complexities of truth. Awaken to who you are in your fullness and what is yours to do. Wake up and be present. Wake up and live. Jacob trembled in fear. He trembled at the magnitude of the call. He shuddered at all he needed to let go of and all he needed to become. The Holy One was in this place, and I did not know it, Jacob whispered to himself. I was in my own way. My thoughts, stories, habits, and expectations kept me distracted, put me to sleep. Ma norah hamakom hazeh. How awesome is this place? How awesome is this moment? How will I remember this experience and know that it was real? How will I return again and again to awareness? How will I continue to break through to what is true? The mystery call to Jacob, take notice, I am with you, and I will guard you wherever you go. Jacob set an intention. If I seek God, if I seek the mystery and discern God's presence, then I will know the paths to follow. Then I will have whatever I need to discern my way. And so Jacob gives us this gift at the edge of our minds, in the realm beyond certainty, and our courageous imagination, our capacity to break through assumptions, doubts, and fears, and behold possibilities. At the edge of our minds, in the realm beyond certainty, stands Sha'ar Hashamayim, a gateway to the mystery, an opening to be awake to the truths of our lives. Sometimes we will duck, other times we will go to sleep, and there will be moments when we get out of our own way, break through the stories, expectations, and fears that keep us distracted, and rise up awake and present. Echoing Jacob, we can say, Ma nora hamakom hazeh, how awesome is this place, how awesome is this moment. I invite you to take with you Rabbi Levy's words as you leave the Shabbat, that invitation to waken up, that invitation to break through and to experience the beauty and awesomeness of this moment. What better time is there to do that than right now? We move to the conclusion of our service with Aleinu, which can be found on page 282, and we rise together.
Aleinu l'shabbeach l'adon hakol, l'adin gedulah l'etzer breshit, she'u notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshe v'yikaru b'shamayim imav, u'shchinatu zo b'goyim erumim, u'Eloheinu eino, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We're welcome to be seated. We turn now to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, and we remember those we have loved and lost, both in recent days and in years past. If you're saying Kaddish for a loved one and you're joining us on Zoom, please share their names in the chat. Or if you're remembering a loved one's yahrzeit this evening. And if you're with us in person and you're saying Mourner's Kaddish for a loved one, please rise and share their name with us. The Shabbat, we remember longtime members Stella Levi, Eva Dakin, Sana Gould, Janine Morgan, Marilyn Barr Stegenga, Norma Pearl Weber, Luz Maria Salamanca, Sylvia Levine, and Peter Feldman. We turn together to page 294, and we rise for Mourner's Kaddish, if it's our custom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yama divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chaye chon u'vyomei chon, v'chaye techo beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'rechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, tamiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichrono livracha, may their memories be a blessing. We're welcome to be seated. And even though Rabbi Berkman's class, Torah for the Heart and Mind, doesn't pick up again until December, she is teaching on a deep dive into the Siddur this Tuesday night. That is on Zoom. If you are interested in exploring the Shabbat service and understanding, it's the second part, but whether you join for the first one or not, you're welcome to come and learn with her on Tuesday evening. Tomorrow morning, we're having services in the chapel. We're being joined by Shir Kaddish. You can join Rabbi Berkman and Josh for that service. And next week, we'll be back together in person in the chapel on Friday night. And I hope you will be with us as well. Finally, check your emails this weekend. You're going to get all the Hanukkah information all in one place. And if you're like me and don't want to make your house smell of oil by making latkes, then you should order latkes from Jason, who is preparing them, and they are delicious. And then you can just put them in the oven and heat them up. If you're more courageous and a better chef than I am, then please make your own at home. I'm sure they're delicious. I have never quite mastered that.
Same.
But we will be gathering for multiple nights of Hanukkah in person and online, and all of that information will be in the email and the latkes as well. We're going to move to Kaddish and Motzi, which is on page 5. Please rise for Kaddish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza ba'anu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahavat uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'charta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim. V'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahavat uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. We're welcome to be seated. And as we get ready to bless the challah, just want to introduce our closing song. And Josh, do you want to tell people why you chose this song?
Yes, I love this song, Ma Yafeh Hayom. How beautiful is this day of Shabbat? It's like so welcoming. It's just so gorgeous. I love it. We sung it with the younger kids, with the older kids. And I don't actually think I have actually sung it here for the Friday night service, for the adult service. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Please join us. It's a melody that you've probably heard near and far. Hopefully it's not too new. If it is, well, you'll learn it and sing right along. Ma Yafeh.
It's on
Oh,
page.
we got it. Oh, Rabbi, I'm so excited. We missed
That's
the motzi.
okay.
You got
I know,
the intro. I'm like,
Well, I know.
I forgot the motzi.
We're going to say the motzi, and then that Maya Fehayom is on page 330.
Page 330.
So you're
Thank
ready.
you. 330.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Amotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
My Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. My Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Give that a try, Maya Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. My Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. One more time. Mayafeh. Mayafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Mayafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I just feel so happy after we sing that song, which is why I think I like singing that on Shabbat, Rabbi.
That's great.
Well,
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for
Shabbat
being
Shalom.
with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Huge shout out to our friends running the tech in the tech table. Thank you very much, Cassie. And that's it. Shabbat Shalom.